The Bangxiao Inn stood at a crossroads. It was a place of respite for weary travelers during the prosperous Tang dynasty. Bianzhou, the city it called home, buzzed with life. Merchants hawked their wares, their voices echoing in the dusty streets. The inn, a haven from the chaos, offered warmth and comfort behind its weathered wooden doors. It was here that travelers from distant lands would share stories under the watchful gaze of the moon. The innkeeper, a shrewd but fair man named Master Chen, greeted each guest with a knowing smile. He had seen it all, or so he thought. The comings and goings of travelers were like the changing tides, each bringing a new story to his doorstep. Little did he know the inn was about to become the stage for a tale stranger than any he had ever heard. A tale woven with whispers of magic, mystery, and a widow named Lady San.
Charity is my passion. I travel extensively, offering aid to those in need.
Lady San was an enigma draped in silk and jade. Widowed at a young age, she had inherited a fortune that allowed her to indulge in her passions. Charity was her most fervent one. She traveled extensively, offering aid to those in need. Her generosity was as boundless as the sky, stretching out to embrace the downtrodden and the destitute. Her reputation preceded her, painting her as a saint in the minds of the common folk. Her arrival at the Bangxiao Inn caused a stir. It was unusual for someone of her stature to seek lodging in such a humble abode. Yet there she was, her presence radiating an aura of quiet strength and enigmatic grace. Master Chen, ever the businessman, quickly ushered her to the finest room, his mind already calculating the increased revenue her extended stay would bring. Lady San, with a gentle smile and a nod, accepted the hospitality. Little did anyone suspect the secret she held close to her heart, a secret as potent as the herbs she carried in her pouch.
I have heard the whispers about Lady San. They hint at something more than mere generosity.
The inn was alive with activity. Merchants, scholars, and adventurers alike gathered around flickering oil lamps, their voices intermingling in a comforting hum. Among them sat Zhao Jihe, a young scholar on his way to the capital for the imperial examinations. He was a keen observer, his eyes missing nothing. He had heard the whispers about Lady San, the whispers that hinted at something more than mere generosity. Across the room, Lady San held court. She spoke little, yet her presence commanded attention. Her eyes, dark and fathomless, seemed to hold ancient secrets. Zhao Jihe found himself drawn to her, intrigued by the air of mystery that clung to her like a second skin. That night, as he lay in his room, sleep evaded him. The inn had fallen silent, save for the chirping of crickets and the distant barking of dogs. It was then that he heard it, a soft chanting coming from Lady San's room.
What is she doing? I must know more.
Curiosity gnawed at Zhao Jihe. He rose from his bed and tiptoed towards the source of the chanting. Peeking through a crack in the door, he gasped at the sight before him. Lady San, bathed in the ethereal glow of moonlight, stood in the center of the room. Her slender fingers danced over a collection of clay figurines arranged in a circle on the floor. The air crackled with unseen energy. He watched, transfixed, as she continued her chanting. The figurines, crudely shaped but strangely lifelike, seemed to pulsate with an inner light. As the chanting reached a crescendo, the room was bathed in an otherworldly glow. Zhao Jihe stumbled back, his heart pounding in his chest. He had stumbled upon a secret that hinted at powers beyond the realm of mortal men. Fear warred with fascination within him. He knew he should turn away, forget what he had seen. Yet something compelled him to stay, to unravel the mystery that shrouded Lady San. Over the next few days, Zhao Jihe became increasingly convinced of Lady San's secret practices. He noticed her habit of distributing small buckwheat pancakes to fellow travelers, always accompanied by a benevolent smile.
I couldn't help but see how after consuming these pancakes, the travelers would become strangely compliant, their wills seemingly bent to Lady San's unspoken desires.
His suspicion grew when he discovered a hidden alcove in the inn's courtyard. Inside, amidst a clutter of herbs and scrolls, he found a book detailing ancient rituals and the manipulation of qi, the life force that flows through all things.
This book, it spoke of objects imbued with magical properties, objects capable of influencing human behavior. One passage, in particular, sent a shiver down my spine. It described the use of figurines and food offerings to manipulate a person's will, a chilling echo of what I had witnessed in Lady San's room.
Zhao Jihe was torn. Lady San's generosity was undeniable, yet the means by which she achieved her ends filled him with unease. Was she truly a benevolent benefactor, or was there a darker purpose behind her actions?
I decided to confide in Master Chen, hoping the innkeeper's experience might shed some light on the situation.
Master Chen listened intently, his weathered face etched with concern. He had heard rumors, whispers of Lady San's past, whispers of a forbidden romance and a thirst for power.
Lady San had been banished from the capital years ago, accused of dabbling in dark arts. Her wealth and connections had allowed her to escape punishment, but the stain on her reputation had remained.
Zhao Jihe knew he had to act. He couldn't stand idly by while Lady San used her magic, however benevolent it seemed, to control the lives of others. He resolved to break the spell she had woven, to free her victims from her subtle manipulations. An idea began to form in Zhao Jihe's mind, a daring plan to expose Lady San and break the hold she had over the travelers. He had learned from the book he found that disrupting a magical ritual required a subtle touch, a disruption of the energy flow. He would use Lady San's own methods against her.
I spent the night baking. Using the finest buckwheat flour, I prepared a batch of pancakes, identical in appearance to those Lady San distributed. However, these pancakes wouldn't contain the subtle enchantment woven into their dough.
The next morning, as Lady San prepared to leave the inn, a basket of freshly baked pancakes in hand, Zhao Jihe made his move. With a sleight of hand honed by years of practicing calligraphy, he swapped Lady San's basket with his own. He watched, his heart pounding, as Lady San, oblivious to the switch, continued on her way, distributing the unenchanted pancakes to unsuspecting travelers. The effects were almost instantaneous. As Lady San handed out the last pancake, a strange tremor ran through the air. The ground beneath them seemed to buckle, and a look of panic crossed Lady San's face. Her elegant features contorted, her body racked with spasms as she transformed before their very eyes. She let out a piercing shriek, a sound filled with both pain and confusion as her body shrank and her skin sprouted coarse hair.
What is happening?
Oh my goodness, she's turning into a donkey.
When the transformation was complete, standing in her place was a donkey, its eyes wide with fear and bewilderment. Zhao Jie, his heart filled with a mixture of pity and triumph, knew he couldn't leave her like this. Despite her transgressions, he couldn't abandon her to an uncertain fate. He approached the donkey cautiously, speaking to it in soothing tones.
It's all right. I won't hurt you.
To his surprise, the donkey seemed to understand. It allowed him to approach and even let out a soft bray, as if acknowledging his presence. And so began their strange journey. Zhao Jihe, astride the donkey that was once Lady San, set out for Mount Hua, guided by a hunch and a promise whispered to the wind. Mount Hua, shrouded in mist and legend, was said to be home to hermits and sages, individuals who possessed knowledge beyond the grasp of ordinary mortals. It was here, Zhao Jihe believed, that he might find a way to undo the transformation, to restore Lady San to her human form. The journey was fraught with peril. They braved treacherous mountain paths and weathered fierce storms, all the while Zhao Jihe never losing hope.
We'll find a way, I promise.
He spoke to the donkey, sharing stories of his life, his dreams, his fears, and slowly he began to sense a change in his companion. After weeks of travel, they finally reached a secluded monastery nestled amidst ancient pines. There, they met an old man, his eyes twinkling with wisdom, who listened patiently as Zhao Jihe recounted their tale.
I see. Lady San's magic, while powerful, came at a price. It was fueled by the life force of others, a dangerous game that had finally caught up with her. The transformation was a consequence of her actions, a karmic debt that needed to be repaid.
The old man led them to a hidden spring, its waters said to possess restorative properties. He instructed Zhao Jihe to have the donkey drink from the spring, assuring him that true repentance would break the curse. As the donkey drank deeply from the spring, a radiant light enveloped it. The air crackled with energy, and when the light subsided, Lady San stood before them.
Thank you, Zhao Jihe. I am truly sorry for what I've done.
She looked different, her features softer, the arrogance that had once clung to her replaced by a newfound humility. She thanked Zhao Jihe, her voice filled with remorse. She admitted to her transgressions, acknowledging the harm she had caused. Then, as quickly as she had reappeared, she vanished.
Her debt is paid. Her fate is now her own to forge.
Zhao Jihe descended Mount Hua, a changed man. The encounter with Lady San had shaken him to his core, forcing him to confront the duality of good and evil, the fine line that separates magic from manipulation. He continued on to the capital, where he excelled in the imperial examinations, his writings infused with the wisdom gleaned from his extraordinary journey. The tale of Lady San became a legend, whispered in hushed tones in the tea houses and marketplaces.
Some dismissed it as the ramblings of a mad scholar, while others saw it as a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the noblest of intentions can have unintended consequences.
And what of Lady San? She was never seen or heard from again. Some say she dedicated her life to atonement, using her wealth to help those she had wronged. Others believe she retreated from the world, her magic spent, her spirit finally at peace. The truth, like so many things in life, remains shrouded in mystery. But one thing is certain, the tale of Lady San, the benevolent sorceress of Bianzhou, continues to fascinate and intrigue, a testament to the enduring power of magic, mystery, and the human heart.